My name is Kofi. Thanks for joining us. I'm here with a special guest who will tell us more about software engineering and how he ended up transitioning into becoming a software engineer. He'll tell us about his life, a bit of the career journey, and also some of the challenges, difficulties he's gone through. So here with me is Ocran. I call him Mupati because I've known him for a while, but then I'll let him do the introduction himself and tell us a bit about his background, his birthplace, and all of that. So welcome again, Mr. Ocran, Mr. Mupati. You have to even tell us where the name Mupati comes from. So.
I'll tell you all that. Thanks for having me. Kofi or Mr. Nkansah.
Yes.
As you mentioned, I'm Kofi Ocran.
Okay.
I'm actually Kofi Obrasi Ocran. Now and I'm also called Kofi Mupati. So normally in what I'll call the software engineering circles, I normally go by the name Mupati. Mupati simply means elder. So we are two brothers named Kofi. I'm like Kofi Senior and Kofi Junior. So in Ghanaian parlance, you normally say Kofi Penny and Kofi Ketwa in Ghanaian, yeah. But our parents found themselves in Zambia where they gave birth to us. That is why we have the Mupati and we have the Moshonto. So Kofi Mupati simply means Kofi Senior, and his is Moshonto. That is Kofi Moshonto. Basically, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the Mupati it's a Zambian word.
Yeah.
Do you know the language?
Word. I think it's Tonga or something. I would have to.
Okay.
The language is Tonga. Or
you need to go back to your roots.
Well, I mean, let's see how things.
It's in the pipeline. I have a feeling.
Well, I mean, you can never. You can never
But so you schooled here in Ghana or?
No, I didn't. Let's say I didn't grow up in Zambia.
Okay.
I didn't even see Zambia, right,
Okay.
where our parents found themselves and gave birth to us. But I grew up in Ghana all my life. I got not during the central region, and so growing up later, due to schooling and I guess the work, I found myself out of Sweden. So yeah, my childhood, basically all my childhood, I was in Naguna Sweden.
Oh, okay. And how about your secondary education and tertiary?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, grew up in Aguna Sweden, basic education in Aguna Sweden. Then my senior high, I went to Agri Memorial, and from Agri Memorial, I went to K University.
Okay.
So schooling, grew up in the central region, moved to another part of the central region for my senior higher education, then to the Ashanti region, that is Kumasi, for my tertiary education. Then eventually, my national service, I moved to Takoradi for the national service. Then work finally brought me to Accra.
So currently you are stationed here in Accra?
Yeah, for the past, let's say, 4 to 5 years, I've been in Accra.
Do you enjoy living in Accra?
Well, it depends on what you mean by enjoy, but as long as my primary source of income is from Accra,
okay.
I guess it's okay.
Well, some say even Accra is Ghana and Ghana is Accra.
Yeah, so I mean, and there are various versions of Accra, but
well, yes. I don't know which version of the Accra you are in. Are you in the 2.0 or the 6.0?
Well, I'm in the Accra where I think I am okay. I get my daily bread.
Okay.
I thank my God. I'm moving.
Sure.
So that's fine.
Back to your educational background. What did you study in school?
So, I mean, obviously, I'm referring to the
tertiary. Yes, tertiary.
Yeah, so the tertiary, I did telecommunication engineering.
Okay.
What even influenced my choice of telecom engineering was I was back then in SHS. I actually like studying, like I like research. I always envisioned myself to be an expert at some sciences, some research guy, the go-to guy for solutions. So that was my general thing. I didn't really know what I wanted to study until a guy came to give a presentation. I think a lecture from UCC, something like that, and he mentioned that he knew something about fiber optics, and for which he consulted for MTN, stuff like that. So, and he was along the lines of he's able to call the shots, he's able to control his time. And I was like, okay, when I think about myself, career-wise, this is what I want to be. That's why I just chose
telecommunications.
I would have done physics. I actually chose physics at Legon, but I got telecom at K University because my physics teacher was very good and I liked physics. So I thought I'll do physics, but then eventually I chose telecom because of the prospect and also the introduction from that lecturer. Yeah. Well, I
Oh,
mean,
okay. So you completed with telecom engineering,
yeah, telecom
but
engineering.
you currently do not do anything telecom engineering related.
Well, yeah, I did a bit of it
Mm,
for national service, as
service.
I mentioned, with
Okay.
Huawei in
In
Takoradi,
Takoradi. Okay.
where I was field, supporting, let's say, a graduate field maintenance engineer
Okay.
at the Takoradi environment. Explored a bit, and eventually, I had to transition to what I'm doing now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in that experience, what was it like? Were you the guys climbing the pylons?
No, so
Okay.
those are the riggers. So we are
Okay.
the engineers have, let's say, oversight of the site generally. Like they have the general oversight. You do maintenance. So when a site is down, you'll be like, okay, I'm just going to check what's wrong. Normally, the back office, the people in Accra, I forgot
Okay.
their name. They'll call you and they'll be like, this site is down. You go and check
Oh, okay.
stuff
You
like
you
that.
are the guys who go to
Yeah,
see if the systems are working.
working.
Okay.
You do regular maintenance, cleaning
Okay.
of the
Yeah.
cabinets, making
Yeah.
sure the various
Okay.
cables, fiber, everything is
Okay.
in place here.
So you finished your national service
Huawei.
with Huawei, and what was the process like trying to land a job? Were you able to get a job in the telecoms industry or like?
So this is how it worked out. Back then in SHS, to go back, my basic education, I along the lines, my father bought a computer, so I got introduced to computer and all that, and also I had special interest in. And when you watch movies and they're hacking and all that, it was fun. So I had interest in
Well, at least they make it look fun.
look fun. Yeah, I had interest in penetration testing, stuff like that, trying to learn and some of these basic commands. When I
Yeah.
see command line stuff and it's
Yeah.
terminal, I just liked it. So that I had some basic introduction to it, and thankfully in SHS I met another friend, Demes, who had like passion, but I think it was more far advanced in the space, and I got to learn a thing or two. So personally, I was developing my so on the side, the telecom bit. I was learning on my own Python, Flask, a number of things, just trying to
When
get
you were in the
myself.
tertiary
Yeah,
stage.
exactly. Even though part of our course we did some programming, but
Okay.
it wasn't that deep. But I was just trying to do that as well. That was just a bit of background. So when I got to the after national service, while national service, I remember I was trying to even do this machine learning program by Andrew Ng.
Yes.
Yeah, and I had a messed up laptop.
Mm.
A long history. But then, right after national service, the last September, we're trying to find the September. You're normally told that you can go home and rest and all that. But I was like, you don't want to go back home because chances are you're not going to get a job and stuff like that. So it was a little worrying. But I then joined Def Congress. Def Congress had joined Def Congress ages ago. So, introduction to a demands 2016 thereabouts when I got exposed to the developer community in Ghana. So Def Congress did it. So I saw a job post at Def Congress which I applied. So around the September, when we were about almost the end of September, I applied. I was also hoping that Huawei would give me an offer, right? So I think in the first week of October, that is when I came to Accra, and Rex was even part of those who interviewed me for the role at the first place I worked, and I got the job over there for EK Brand Consult. Big ups to EK, and around the same time, during let's say the onboarding process, my boss at Huawei also mentioned that I'd received a job offer from Huawei to be a fiber engineer, right? And basically, having experienced the work on the field, I knew that that's not something I would want to do. And also when I compared the compensation, first of all, that's not something I wanted to do. And also the compensation was not even that encouraging to convince me to go back to Huawei. So then I rejected the offer and
Oh, okay.
stayed in
So at a
Accra.
point in time, you had like two job offers and you had to pick between one. But then, what was it? Was the fiber job going to be more intensive and
No, it wasn't. Just to sum it wasn't something I really wanted to be doing.
okay?
As a
You
fiber engineer,
okay?
like now faults, fiber faults, you'll be more hands on the ground
Okay.
stuff, and Personally, I didn't feel it was something
Okay.
I really wanted to do. So yeah. So their compensation made it an
a
easier
deal
choice
breaker for
yeah,
you?
right. Because I didn't want to do it in the first place.
Compared to you
AK.
taking the software role
Yeah,
at
exactly.
EK?
First of all, AK was a bootstrap company, and I felt a company as established as Huawei could, offer more. But even relative as at then, AK was giving more than what Huawei
Okay,
was
so
willing to offer.
definitely
So
that was
first, software was where I wanted to. The path, the career path I wanted, and plus the compensation was better. So yeah.
You did mention a demands.
Yeah.
You've mentioned his name I think twice so far. It was or is he still your mentor? And
Yeah, he's let's say a friend and mentor.
Okay.
We go back way back in SHS Agri Memorial. That's the
Oh,
secondary school I
okay.
attended. Yeah, so that's where we got introduced to ourselves. And even when I came to Accra, the first hackathon I actually attended was on an old project it has been archived now. Devless using their tool to build it. So that was the first hackathon. I think 2016. I'll get there about. That's when I came to Accra. And yeah, the first time I experienced was at MEST.
Okay.
Experienced
Best.
what a developer community was like in Accra. So he's been more of an inspiration and also, yeah, basically an inspiration.
Oh,
Also.
okay. So have you built any applications that you shipped out there yourself, or it's always been like team related stuff?
I have not
Do you
done,
have any personal projects that
I've not done personal projects yet. I don't have any of such. The only thing that I put out there, basically where the companies I work with, the project that we work on, but I've not done anything.
But I noticed you also write articles.
Yeah, so that's I also so this how I started. I had a technical challenge where a particular project I was working on, WebRTC related. During the pandemic, a lot of solutions related to video calling came on board, and I was working with a particular guy who reached out, and we're trying to figure out a few things. He wanted to build the video calling experience using WebRTC without Zoom or any vendor. So that was I didn't know anything about it, but learning and figuring out a few things. That I think that started. That was the start of my writing journey. So if I find anything difficult to crack, after doing that, I just build a demo application and write about it. So if you see anything online, it'll be those articles. And thankfully, that first article actually opened up a number of opportunities my way, writing opportunities. Yeah, aside my full-time job, once in a while, the writing opportunities, the likes of Agora, even 100MS, and a number of people who have reached out. Yeah.
You mentioned WebRTC, and I think from a little interaction I've had with you over the years, you seem to be one of the few people in Ghana who have done like a deep dive into WebRTC. To a layman, to an ordinary person, how would you describe WebRTC?
So it's basically real-time communication using on the web. So initially, the basic design is peer-to-peer. So you want to find a way of communicating directly.
When you say peer-to-peer, you mean
no centralized.
Oh,
that is the basic. But then eventually, if you want to scale, and we have um, firewall issues and network address translation stuff that you have to deal with. Obviously, there are other things that you look at, but
fundamentally, that's the concept behind,
yeah,
whereby my computer is connected directly to your computer and not through a third party.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is if, let we find ourselves on the same local network.
Yes. So, but then if you want to communicate over the internet, then you would have
we have to get what we
find some kind of translation to.
Yeah, we have 10 servers. So yeah, there are many. Should I say topologies? So the general web artist, the basic is peer-to-peer, but it doesn't scale. Then there are other stuff where they introduce what they call as SFU, where selective forwarding units. What happens is we have a media server where when you get, normally on video calls, permission to your microphone and audio, you get your audio and video to us. Basically, you send your media to that media server. The media server will be forwarding to other participants on the call. That's another part too. You send, and I've forgotten the name of that I don't know what I should call it, architecture or topology. The various the streams coming from different people are mixed and also sent to the participants. Yeah. So there are various approaches that various vendors use. Yeah.
That and you've had an experience with WebRTC for how many years now?
Oh, so I am so at the moment. My introduction is so from 2021 to now. Yeah, from 2021 to now. I'm still relatively on, I guess, the surface level integration parts. I have delved a little into I guess, getting into the core stuff for a while, but primarily I'm still really on the surface because of the some of the project that I'm normally called upon to
Okay.
join. Yeah, those are the things I do. So it's not even the primary thing I do. That's something I learn on the side. And once in a while, people ask me to support them on projects.
We'll talk more about that and switch on to AI when we come back.
Sure.
So welcome back. We'll continue our conversation and we want to dive into a little bit of what Ocran thinks about the increase in use of AI and whether he feels threatened with AI and whatnot. So do you currently use any form of AI in your workflow? Or you are the strong, convicted ones who are like, let's put AI aside?
You know, personally, I don't jump on debates bandwagon just to.
Oh, today you are jumping on one.
Wait, I mean, this isn't. So I find myself in a country where I'm like, I should try to position myself where I can get my daily bread. I don't stress a lot. So now to the question of AI, right? I mean, AI is broad, but this generative AI is giving it's the
Yes,
only thing that
specifically along the lines of writing code and
okay,
debugging
writing. I
code.
mean, so
Yes.
I'm doing this thing for quite a while. You realize a lot of things are repetitive. You know, not we call something boilerplate code,
Yes.
right? For most projects, you realize that you're supposed to have a number of things, like maybe authentication layer, a middleware, something like.
Yeah.
So then you start a new project. If you don't have something that you can, some people, I mean, sometimes you just get a few things from past projects and lump them together and tweak it to meet the new project.
Yeah.
Aside that, there are things that you can just put it in probably ChatGPT or any of these tools to just generate. Probably, let's say you need a Docker file. You don't want to now worry your head. You know, you understand and know how Docker works in a file like that. So you just put whatever it generates for you, copy you tweak it to just meet your use case. So for someone who is already in the space, who knows what they're about, it's something that I guess increases your efficiency, so to speak.
And productivity and all of
Exactly, productivity as well.
So do you currently employ it in your line of work?
Yeah, as I mentioned, at ChatGPT, and one I used to have access to GitHub Copilot. I use that as well. It was pretty cool. And what again? That's on to aid as a productivity tool.
Okay.
And also there are certain projects that obviously you have to integrate some OpenAI stuff, live video calling, live kit. Yeah. So
Do you think a point is coming where you lose your job because of AI?
I'm not. I am. So let's say it this way. I am philosophically speaking. There's a sense in which I am a one day at a time person, and also there's a sense in which I know you know, let's say for mini project, they are basically create, read, update, and delete, right? So
Yes.
if that is the primary thing that is where your strength is, chances are it can be easily replaced. But I know there are certain um, niche spaces where, I mean, AI would just be something that would help productivity, but would not necessarily replace. So think of it. I used to have computer vision interest, and now video streaming technologies interest. But if I look into it, probably if you're supposed to write an encoder, decoder. I mean, I don't know these things yet, but I feel for some of the things because they need really, really niche.
They are specialized
Yeah.
in a way that
AI will not necessarily replace, but would make someone who already know
their
very
work
productive.
easier.
Yeah. But if it's just create, read, update, something that someone can just drag and drop. You can never be. I mean, what I'm saying, I know that probably by the time that this video is out and all that, I'll be on the wrong side of history because someone will invest something that will just negate all that I've said. But yeah, personally, I'm not worried. I'm just doing one day, learn the skills I think I should know, and I get diversifying my interests as well. Because
Yeah.
automatically, eventually probably software engineering would probably become ubiquitous, but then there are other disciplines that you can find yourself where you will earn your 11. Yeah, so that's
Some of us are looking to plumbing work or
yeah. I mean that's
carpentry,
you.
and
Any
for
of
someone
these.
like me, I do photography as well, which
Yeah,
is just left with a robot to start working. They'll just give the camera to the robot and then
yeah. But
photographers.
funny thing is, what happened that's now being able to get a product or a service rendered by a human being will become a premium. But I
Well,
like those
yes,
dynamics. Let's
yes.
see how things work
That
out.
that actually will be a dynamic that
Yeah.
comes up. When you look at the Ghanaian job market for software engineers, what are your thoughts? Are they paid well? Is the compensation good? Is it easier to get a job on the market? Like, what has been your experience so far over the years?
So looking for a job, my experience hasn't been very bad, so to speak. That is, if searching for jobs in Ghana, and also because of certain experiences and certain things I shared online, apart from EK Brand Consult and apart from my current company and some other people I joined for a project, I've not had to apply. So people normally reach out to me on GitHub. Not that I have a lot of things out there, but those like some of the things I have are specific things they need on their project.
Okay.
And so I've not, my efforts trying to get jobs on my own
Hasn't been
futile.
active.
Like, as one hasn't been active, and also I'm not even getting interviews. And
Okay.
funny enough, people who the opportunities I've got, they actually reach
Are
out to
rather
me.
reaching out to you.
They are not a lot, but one or
But
two.
that is actually a good position to be in, where
Yeah, really.
the recruiters are rather coming to you
Really,
instead of
these ones are not even recruiters. These are like the founders
people who
themselves.
want something built and then
It's very specific.
okay.
I always say one of those.
I need to start learning what you've learned. So that
this not necessarily what. So this one thing there are still opportunities. This one thing I normally I've said with a few friends. So if you probably want to position yourself, sometimes get yourself a tool that you use personally, right? Get onto their Slack. Be active looking at especially if it's an open source tool, the kind of questions that people keep asking, the challenges that they have, follow along and try to solve them personally, write about it, and also share in those same channels, and also try helping them. Because there's been an instance where I was in the Agora Slack channel. I'd written a few articles for them, right? And when someone needed some help, they actually reached out to me, right? And I helped him. It was an hour and a half. I got it for about $60 to. That is to say that I was on the platform. You write a lot of demo applications for them, and by using it, you get to understand, and also you see the problems people report, learn as much, write about it. If you are lucky enough, the company might even get you on board as a developer advocate or possibly a solutions engineer. Chances are also people will flock to your articles. Some articles that I know I wrote ages ago, people are even still coming to those, and even I probably have to archive them because I look at them like, what are these? But writing helped, right? So you get to learn, you get to share, and also you get a single point where people can just know your work out there, and they'll just reach out to you. So it's another way of applying. I don't know if it still works in this time, but that used to work, but I'm not sure about now. But one thing I know would be helpful is a tool that you use, get on their like understanding as much as possible, use it, try to on your free time, learn, solve the problems people have, build them applications to solve their problems, share as much as you can on the side, and hopefully someone will reach out to you for maybe once in a while gigs here and there. Lucky probably can land a full-time job, but yeah, that's I think a way to go.
that's actually a good advice, and I enjoyed having this conversation with you, Mr. Mupati.
Yeah, I also enjoyed
Thanks for joining me today. We'll definitely check in one day in the near future to see how your progress has been regarding the video. To finalize everything, is there any industry you can recommend? Let's say you are recommending me into tech. Is there a particular industry you can easily recommend to me that you think will still be available or will still be hotcake in the coming years? I know you are betting on the video broadcasting transmission part. Is there
Are you referring to just the tech space? So I mean, I've been,
Well,
it's, then the few things, fintech will probably be there one way or the other because
which
of
is
the
payments
commerce,
related,
yes,
money, finance.
and some people that are into some agri-tech stuff,
Okay.
possibly, because I mean, we always have to eat, so
Yes.
that should be there. And also, people still want to consume content on social media, video and sound. So that's these three. I think
Okay.
health, agri-tech is quite expensive. I understand.
Yeah.
Fintech with all its variants and probably some of these video production
Okay.
stuff. Yeah, because everyone wants to be a content creator, so it looks
Yeah.
like that field. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining me, Mr. Mupati.
You're welcome, Mr. Nkansah.
We'll really appreciate you giving us your time, and yeah, we'll keep in touch and hopefully get updated on all your progress. When you get there too, I'll give you my bank account so that you forward.
All right, so let's see how things work. I know you can never tell. Maybe you're not going to do this forever, but let's see how things go.
Well, yeah, it was glad chatting with you.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, thanks for joining us on this one, and then hope to talk to you in the next one. Bye.
We came from a distant land, our lives already planned. We came in ships from across the sea, never again home we'd see. And now we become American fruit with African roots. Our master saw we worked from morn till night, never given human rights. Though years passings remain the same, children born with no less names. What is to